Hello, Mr. Campbellhouse here with another video. Today I'm going to compare and contrast two different 10 gig switch, one from MicroTik and one from Ubiquiti. To start with the MicroTik, it is the CRS305-1G-4S plus IN, and the Ubiquiti is the USW-FLEX-XG. There's a lot of things that are similar about these two switches, but a few things that are different, so let's get started. Let's start with what the two switches have in common. Both switches feature 4 10 gig ports and a single gigabit RJ45 port. Both switches operate fanlessly, and both switches can be powered via that single RJ45 port using PoE-in. Now for the differences. The biggest difference between the two is their 10 gig connectivity. The MicroTik features 4 10 gig SFP plus cages, whereas the Ubiquiti features 4 10 gig RJ45 Ethernet ports. Power input is different among these two switches as well. While either can be powered via PoE-in on the RJ45 gigabit ports, the MicroTik features 2 DC barrel connectors that allow redundant power supplies, whereas the Ubiquiti features a single USB-C in that can be used with the included power adapter. Before we go into the management interfaces, let's compare the differences between SFP Plus and RJ45. SFP Plus is definitely more flexible and gives more options. You can do direct attach cables such as these that just plug in directly into two SFP Plus devices. You can get these in a variety of lengths. You can do fiber modules if you need to traverse longer distances, or you can also do SFP Plus to RJ45 adapters if you need to. On the other hand, RJ45 is probably more convenient for most home users because you can often use the Cat5e or Cat6 or whatever cables you have in your house, and most home devices are already using RJ45, whereas SFP Plus is certainly less common in the home. While you can install these modules into this MicroTik switch, one thing to consider is the cost of doing so. These modules are $65 a piece, so if you wanted to do 4 of them, you need to add $260 of modules to this $150 switch to get the same 4 ports that the Ubiquiti has. And these little modules also generate a ton of heat, so I'm not sure it'd be the greatest idea to put 4 of them so close together in this MicroTik switch. It might create a little more heat than you'd like and could potentially lead to reliability issues. So I would say if you're wanting to do RJ45, I think the Ubiquiti is an easy pick, but if you need more flexibility and are looking to do fiber and things like that, you might consider the MicroTik instead. Let's go ahead and get into those management interfaces. Starting with the MicroTik, let me first explain that I'm not a professional, but rather a passionate hobbyist. I really struggled with this switch as I pulled it out of the box and tried to enter the 192.168.88.1 IP address listed on the manual. I realized that my IP address for my computer was on the wrong subnet and that I needed to change it to match the .88 subnet used on the switch. Once I did that, I was able to log into the switch, change its IP address to one that shared the same .1 subnet that my normal network runs on, and then change my computer IP address back so that I could interface with the switch on my normal network. For power users with a greater level of expertise than myself, I'm sure that many of them will enjoy the great list of features that this MicroTik switch has to offer, including its terminal and many elements in its user interface. For someone such as myself, I find the Ubiquiti interface to be a lot more approachable and a lot more forgiving for someone who's more of a hobbyist. So let's go ahead and change over to the Ubiquiti. In contrast, I find the FLEX-XG's interface to be beautiful, easy to use, and functional. While some other ecosystems may have a greater feature set, I believe many of those features are well beyond the needs of a home or small medium business user. The most valuable thing about UniFi is not its feature set, but the ease in which a user can employ those features. After all the bells and whistles in the world don't matter if you, the user, can't figure out how to use them. In summary, my recommendation for the MicroTik is limited to those who really know what they're doing, though a beginner could use it right out of the box as a basic unmanaged 10 gig SFP Plus switch if they really wanted to. For hobbyists and enthusiasts, the USW-FLEX-XG has my full recommendation as a result of its user-friendliness and inclusion of 4 10 gig RJ45 ports, negating the need to buy SFP Plus adapters. Thanks for watching, Mr. Campbellhouse, and make sure to come back next time to see how the FLEX-XG was used when I upgraded my entire network to multi-gig and 10 gig speeds.